Hello and welcome back to Memories of a Musician. I'm your host, Vito DeSalvo. Once again this evening we have a great program for you featuring a very talented young lady by the name of Donna Groom. And Donna, you're going to find out a lot about her and her background, but probably the thing that if most people know her, they know her as the female vocalist for the Pittsburgh vocal group Jimmy Beaumont and the Skyliners. And I personally did not know Donna until now. I'd never worked with her. I really hadn't seen her perform. However, I've heard a lot about her over the years. Her name came up many, many times. And two of my good friends who were also already guests on the program here, Kevin Clark for one and Kenny Kovac for another, both said, hey, you should have Donna Groom. And also another one was John DeGory also, and said, you should have Donna Groom on the program. Should be wonderful to have, and I said, sure. So I want to show you a couple pictures actually. This one here, that's a picture of Donna playing keys, and right next to her is Kevin Clark playing keys. And then I have a picture with my dear friend Kenny Kovac, and you see Donna standing there at the mic, and the guy there is Jim Gregorakis. I think he's a future guest somewhere down the line on the show too. And I believe from what Donna had mentioned to me, Jim's been with the Skyliners for about 7 years. So that's that picture there, and you see Kenny Kovac playing bass. He's played bass with them quite a few years as well. So, anyways, that's my connection to Donna through other musicians and friends, and so I called Donna and she said, "Oh, I'd love to be on the program." So here she is today. Before I bring her on, I do want to read a little background about her. A prodigy who was singing by 18 months and playing piano before she was 3. Donna Groom graduated with a Bachelor of Music degree from Duquesne University in her native Pittsburgh, immediately landing a job as lead female vocalist with the Steel City's famed vocal group, Jimmy Beaumont and the Skyliners. You'll recognize their hit songs, Since I Don't Have You, This I Swear, and Pennies from Heaven, just to name a few. She studied piano with Barbara and Audley Wasson and Joseph Esposito Jr., and organ with Ann Lebowski, John Walker, and David Craighead. I remember Ann Lebowski from Duquesne University myself. She was there teaching organ when I was a student there. Donna has performed in prestigious concert halls and shared the stage with legends, where she earned a reputation for vocal and musicianship excellence, mixed with an onstage warmth and charm that makes her an absolute crowd pleaser. Her dazzling voice, both pretty and powerful, coupled with her captivating smile and youthful allure, helped the Skyliners maintain their popularity as a concert act with the clout and the chops to delight crowds at Radio City Music Hall, Madison Square Garden, and the Greek Theater. Groom has supported renowned musical acts ranging from Martina McBride to The Temptations and piano great Roger Williams, to adult contemporary chart toppers Air Supply. The multi-talented Groom also has served as pianist and conductor for Little Anthony and the Imperials. Americans coast to coast have heard her voice on PBS National My Music series, harmonizing on everything from doo-wop to country. Donna has performed with the Wheeling Symphony and has also performed with the Orchestra of the Alleghenies and Colorado Symphony. Having written and recorded many TV and radio jingles, Groom has 2 CDs, Mind Cruisin' and Donna Groom Sings Standards, in stores and in Japan. And recently released in the US a critically praised Stevie Wonder tribute, Just Wonderin', which she introduced during the debut concert of her current solo show, One More Mountain to Climb, at the Lincoln Park Performing Arts Center. The concert showcases Groom's incredible ability as a vocalist and pianist. It includes many wonderful pop hits, both nostalgic and contemporary, delivered with grace and wit, and of course, a ton of talent. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let me bring onto the program Miss Donna Groom. And there she is. Hi, Donna. How are you?
Do you think my mother wrote that?
That's funny.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah. You know what? We took that bio from so many different places, and things are different now, even again, The
Sure.
One More Mountain to Climb show was that was back in 2012, I think. Can do the show.
Right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it all adds up, over the years, all the things that you do.
Yes,
And they make you who you are, and how you got to where you got. That's right.
Exactly.
So, I it's interesting. Some of the musicians, and I saw some of the orchestra people, and I know a lot of the musicians that have performed with you. It's interesting how we're all connected, right? In some way, shape, or form there. So let me ask you a question, Donna. When did you, your bio says you were 3 years old playing the piano.
Yeah.
I didn't start the accordion until I was 4. I was like old when I started compared to you. So tell me
Wow.
about your beginnings as a musician.
My mother, I think you hear it in utero.
Oh,
Really, I do. My mother is still, she's 88 years old. She teaches, she can teach vocal. She's a piano teacher. And, she was giving lessons at the time. We lived in New York's Flushing area. My dad worked at LaGuardia, so
oh,
we always lived near an airport. So at the time, he was there, and she would give piano lessons, and so I probably heard all of that in her, in utero. I always say, but my dad played trumpet, and of course, mom, so I kind of got the music genes that way.
okay.
I think. And then once I was little, I could hear her students playing and everything. She used to put my playpen up against the piano so I could stand there and play, and she'd put my high chair, put my legs through sideways, and push it up to there. And she said, I'd just play real nice and plink, plink, plink. And before long, she said, that I took 3 notes, because she would sing with me constant, sing, 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 play, everything. And I told her, if I take these notes and go up those 3 notes, it's do a deer. And if I take those 3 notes and come down, it's 3 blind mice. And she looked at me, what? So, I mean, it was just always there, always around. And then she taught me how to read music. I was probably 6. And then I started formal lessons when I was 9
Oh, okay.
with the
Good.
Watsons, because by that time we lived in Dayton. We moved around a lot, so she couldn't get me, established with anyone. So she kind of just let me go and taught me herself.
I see.
Yeah.
And when you went to Duquesne University School of Music, were you an organ major there?
No, I went twice. I went right out of high school. I wasn't ready to do anything, I was a piano major. I got partial scholarship, and I just wasn't happy. And I got tired of entering competitions, and it was just, you spend all your days all day long practicing.
Mhm.
And, you may get into a competition and you don't make it. It's all that time that's wasted. I just decided I wasn't happy. And I thought, school will always be here. So
Mhm.
I left. And my mother said, well, you're not going to do anything. You have to do something. So I went to Robert Morris, and I took some communications, and I took some courses for about 3 semesters. Meanwhile, I joined the Skyliners.
Oh,
And we were on the road a lot. I was pretty young. It just was like I was getting grades for attendance, which was F, because we would always travel. We were out of town a lot, and we'd travel, and Friday was a travel day.
okay.
So you were allowed to miss so many, but I ended up with an F. So my work was A's, my test and everything. I was making A's, but if you average in an attendance grade of F, that gives you a C. So on my transcript, I have C's, and I didn't do C work. So I thought, this isn't going to work either. So I just thought, well, stay with the Skyliners for a little bit and see what happens. Well, then I didn't go back to school till I was almost 40.
Oh,
And all my life, I've always had a music job in a church. And my mother, I went to parochial school, and my mother was the 1215 organist at St. Christopher's in Vandalia, Ohio. So I started doing that, and before long, I'm playing pedals and doing the whole thing.
Hmm.
So, but in my late 30s, I had always been a member of the American Guild of Organists. And they were not running a special, but they had a special, I guess, where you could if you were a working organist, at least part-time, you could go to school for half off of the basic tuition. So I jumped on it and I went back part-time. It took me 6 years, but I finished and I got a degree in sacred music in Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's Ann Lebunsky and David Craighead, John Walker. They were wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah.
A question for you. When do you, I mean, was there a moment or a point in your career that, or as a youngster maybe, that you think that music really became your passion? You knew that that's what you were going to do. You didn't want to do anything else.
No. It's just it, like, who always says that you don't pick it, it picks you.
Yeah.
It's
That's
just
true.
always been. I never had a defining moment. Well, this is what I want to do. I can't wait
Right.
to do this, or I can't. No, there was just, I've never done anything else. And it's scary for other people to think that, like, oh, how in the world? I mean, it's really hard to convince the bank that you make money,
I know.
Yeah. And so I say, well, I guess your actions just speak for themselves over the years. You keep yourself, you buy a house, you just live, and then here you are, and you think, oh, I still haven't decided what I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah.
Just do everything.
Well, I have a picture I want to show. This is pretty young. And this is you with the Skyliners?
No, that is the original group, probably in 1959. They were high school students. I wasn't born yet. Oh yeah, that's Janet Bogle.
Okay.
Yeah, the original, founding, one of the founding members.
I
Yeah.
see. So you weren't the original female vocalist.
No, I'm 2.0.
How long were they working when you came along?
Well, let's see. I didn't join the group until 81.
Okay.
So that
And
was 59.
Wow. So it's 21, 22 years later, huh?
At least, yeah.
Wow. I see. Well, that's interesting because I didn't realize that. And then
Well, if I had been an original, I would be in my 80s.
I guess so. I'm terrible at math.
No, that's okay.
Okay. And then this is you singing. Is that Jimmy Beaumont?
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
So this is much more recent, maybe in the 90s or so, 80s,
I'll have to
90s.
think about that. Probably, yeah. No, because that was part of the My Music series, the PBS oldies series that through TJ Lubinsky.
Okay.
And we probably did, I don't know, we were on maybe 4 of them as a group. And so those started in 99. And so that was into to the 2000s.
Okay.
Early 2000s. Yeah.
And Jimmy Beaumont passed away, right?
Yes.
And what year did he pass?
I think 17, October of 17.
He was singing pretty much up until that point, huh?
Oh, right up until, yes.
Wow.
It was sudden.
During your tenure with the Skyliners, you performed with other artists, and you did many other things. And of course, you had your solo career too.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to tell me about, you mentioned on your bio some of these folks. I want to mention, and just to see what your connection with them, what you exactly, did. Martina McBride, for instance.
We were on a show together for this gazillionaire guy in Texas, and he was having a big party. And she was, I would say, I wouldn't say I supported her, but we were part of the show that happened at this birthday party.
I see.
Yeah, she was excellent. I mean, just, we were just all part of one show.
Okay.
I didn't actually do any work for her, but we were just on the same show.
I see. Okay. And how about the Temptations? You mentioned the Temptations.
Worked with them. Yeah. Just been if you can name the group, I've probably been on the same show with them somewhere along the line. Yeah. Because I mean, we did all those oldies shows at the Benedum, and some would be out of town in New York. We worked in Boston. And you know, you're always either, if you're not the headlining act, you're a supporting act. So yeah.
I understand. I played the piano for the Letterman, and when we did a show one time, it was the Letterman and the Beach Boys.
Oh,
and, you know, now we didn't do anything like, I didn't actually play with the Beach Boys, but we were on the same show, and I got a really nice picture with all the guys in the Beach Boys. John Stamos was right next to me. He was playing drums and things, so it was fun. But it's the same thing, because we were doing our show, and we were both on the same ticket, and it was an outdoor event somewhere in Ohio, maybe Dayton, Ohio, or something like that. And it was for charity or something. But anyhow, I understand what you're saying about, you know, and Roger Williams. I mean, I remember, you know, growing up listening to him play the piano. It was like a, you know, it was a staple with the piano, solo piano things, right?
I held his hands and I said, "Let me see your fingers." And I took his hands and I looked at them and I thought, they looked like Mr. Wasson's hands. I just had to touch him. That sounds so weird, but I couldn't help myself. He was just wonderful.
Did he accompany you singing? Did you get to sing?
No, they're again on the same show. You know, we're just all with one another. You could talk and it was great. I was running down the hall real fast, I forget what I had to get. And who was coming around the corner and we almost collide was Roy Clark.
Oh, wow.
And he had a smiling face like this big, and we were like face to face. And I went, "Oh my God." Just laugh.
It's always fun to be, you know, with other groups and musicians and things.
Yeah. We used to watch Hee Haw, you know. Good thing you never think you're going to run face to face almost into each other.
And then there was you mentioned the group Air Supply too.
Yep. We were on with
them as well.
Yes, and Gloria Gaynor. In fact, it was birthday parties at the same. You know, people that have money. It's a good thing because and you get to do things that maybe you wouldn't normally. You know, and they have parties at these fabulous resorts and all this stuff, and then you get to hang out with all the other people that are, you know, and you make friends. You stay in touch. Now the only one I played behind would have been I played behind Lou Christie. I did piano for him a couple of times. Little Anthony, that was wonderful experience.
Just going to ask about that because that was on your bio too. Little Anthony.
Yeah.
You
at first,
piano.
Yes, and the first time I was hired to play the second book. You know, all the string lines or the organ or stuff like that. I wanted to play the first book so bad, and I forget where we were, and the regular director, his wife was sick and he couldn't go. And I said to Clarence was his brother-in-law, and he was the manager for Anthony. I said, "Oh, let me play the first book." So he let me play the first book, and we hired out for the second book. Okay. And so I just, after, you know, you prove yourself once, well, then I was able to do it a few times after that. And it was great. Yeah. A
lot of fun.
Good music.
So, let me ask you this. You know, when I was talking with, I don't know which of the guys that played with you with the Skyliners, mentioned that your husband is the drummer. His name is Mark Groom. Yep. Is that right? So I have his picture here.
Look at that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's you and Mark, right?
Yes, we're a little younger.
Okay. Was he a drummer with the group before you came in as a vocalist?
Yes, he was. He was there a few years before me, and I've been there, ugh, 45 years. I hate to say it, but Marcus was there with his brothers, and Mark is a great show drummer. He's visual, he just he has a instructional video. It's called 11 Cymbals in One, and people like watching his cymbal work because he does different things with cymbals that other people don't. He's not just a smasher. He plays them musically. And I was always attracted to Mark's playing. When I first joined the group, I had a boyfriend, he had a girlfriend, and just I'd be watching him, and I got in trouble. They're like, you're supposed to pay attention to whoever's singing lead. You're not supposed to be looking around. So, I got caught. And so before you know it, we're dating, and we got married. Yeah.
Wow.
83.
83, you got married?
Mm-hmm.
1883. Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, but Mark is still a great drummer. He's Mark plays very musically, and I think a lot of his influences were like the Buddy Riches and that kind of stuff. He's just not going to stand there and smash up the drum set.
Okay.
He could be strong, but he's more musical than that. Sure. And that's what a lot of people like about him.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, I'd love to hear him play something. I probably on some of these I'm sure he's playing these recordings that I'm going to play in a bit. I have a picture of you just sitting at the piano, singing, playing at the piano. And is this part of your solo career? Yeah.
Yes, that was at the One More Mountain to Climb show at Lincoln Park. And I don't know, I could have been singing Carly Simon, could have been Carole King, could have been the Carpenters. Oh, because I like all that stuff, and it's all suited for my vocal range. Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of One More Mountain, I have a video I'd like to play. This is you singing One More Mountain. Can I play this for the audience?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay.
I remember when I was a child, I heard an oak tree calling quietly. It said, "Child, you can grow as strong as me. If you dream it, that's how it will be. And you have many mountains to climb, and you will climb them one at a time. Before the shadows fall, you will be standing tall, but you have many, many mountains
And there you go. Wow. Now, who would have done that arrangement?
You know what? That song arranged itself.
Oh,
So
good.
here's
Wow.
how this happened. I had a wonderful friend. Her name is Linda Marcus.
Oh, I knew Linda. I know
Yeah.
Linda.
Okay, red hair, beautiful person, beautiful person. She
Yeah.
wrote the lyrics to that song,
Okay.
and I'm the only person who's ever recorded it.
Oh,
And
wow.
she wrote with Jack Feldman in New York, and Jack is a recluse, unfortunately, because I would just love to know him. He was the lyricist for Newsies, and yeah, he lives in New York. He wrote Copacabana. He
Mhm.
wrote Ships That Pass in the Night. It was like all like Manilow stuff, but he's,
Okay.
a lot of, you would recognize his music.
Yeah.
So she wanted me to demo the song. So he sent me a cassette tape. That's how long ago it was. And
Wow.
he's wailing away, singing it. And I'm like, wow, it sounds like a Manilow song to me. And it's just one of those things where it's such a well-written song. It kind of arranged itself, it just, so we recorded it in Dick Engels, that was our guitar player, in his basement.
Oh, wow.
On his, he had a studio set up down there, and I played the piano on it, did the strings over top of it. But since it's been, I had Ralph Guzzi arrange it because we did it with the symphony, and it's beautiful with the symphony, actually.
Oh, yeah.
With all the real stuff going on. But yeah, that to me, that song arranged itself.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I like the arrangement. I like the way it comes together, And Linda Marcus, she came to one of my shows in Naples. This is several years ago. Is she still living?
No.
Did she pass?
Died maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and then her husband died shortly after, because they were just two peas in a pod. There was not going to be one without the other. You know?
Yeah. She was a wonderful person. I enjoyed. We did some work together in the sense that I did a lot of publishing, and she brought some of her music to me and things like that. And I remember somehow she was in Naples, maybe just on a vacation or something, and
they'd go for the winter months.
She saw that I had posted a concert that I was doing in Naples on Facebook, and she showed up. She was there. I was like, wow. Yeah, nice. So I have another picture. I want to show this picture here. This is you, and of course this is in front of a full orchestra. You can't see the whole orchestra, but I could tell it was an orchestra. And again, solo. This is one of your solo performances, right?
That was part of One More Mountain to Climb show, and I had the first half I wore the wizard costume, and the second one, second half I wore the sparkled sequin fuchsia jacket with black pants. Yeah. So that's the same show, actually.
Same show. Nice. And then I have this picture, and this is you singing with the group, with the Skyliners.
That's PBS. That was that was recorded at the Claridge, I think, in Atlantic City.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a cold. I had a cold that day. We had worked in Florida, and I started getting a sore throat before, and I thought, oh no, but it didn't go into my throat. It would just stay,
Yeah, sinuses.
Mm.
So I want to tell everybody about on your website. I saw this, and I was going to try to present a little bit, but it was really tough because it's back and forth. And this is the video called "From a Distance." You song, but the video it's really about war and these, the fellows that go off to war,
veterans.
And, you don't know this, but this goes back to World War I. There was an Italian song called O Soldato Innamorato, which means the enamored soldier.
Okay.
The song is a story about, the soldier that writes to his girlfriend back home. It's almost the same kind of connotation as From a Distance, but this is old. Oi vita mia, un cuore chi sta core. It's a beautiful song, and it's like a real rouser kind of a song too, And when I saw this, I thought of that immediately. This is like
Wow.
a lot of scenes of,
Yes.
these soldiers and war scenes and things like that. It was hard for me to say, well, I'm going to take a little piece of this. So what I want to do, I want to show this little, and this is right off of your website. And I want to encourage people to donnagroom.com. They can go to your website and they can see the entire program, from a distance program. You see that right in the center. And then below that, From a Distance video, and there's some other information they can read about it. So I would say, hey, when you have a chance, go to donnagroom.com and check this out, because it's a wonderful presentation. It really is nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really like that a lot, and give you a lot. And then I have one more picture that I like to show. This one, again. This is you with the Skyliners. Is this another PBS moment, or
no?
No, just a show that you were doing?
That could have been. Everybody's too close together for that to be the Benedum. It was a show someplace where.
Okay. Yeah, I was digging around for some photos, and I found some things, and this was one. So you've been with the Skyliners for, you said, almost 45 years or so.
It's 45, yeah, 81.
So I bet you have some interesting stories. Or what would you like to tell the audience about? Something that they normally wouldn't get to hear.
Well, there's some things I can't say because it's like the Kennedys. You can't say anything until everybody's dead because you don't want anybody to know. Oh my God. Craziness. But as you can well imagine, and so just some I am definitely going to put down, I don't want to call them memoirs, but I like, me personally, I like to read books that have essays and just short descriptions about things, people, places, whatever, or things that happened. And I'm gonna do a book.
Good.
And I am. And like one chapter will be about the Benedum, because I've played there so many times, but so many things happen there that it's you almost, people wouldn't believe it. You can't make it up. I don't know. I'll give you one story from there. It was a big show. I don't know if it was 25th anniversary or something.
Okay.
And it was in the spring, and I was having a terrible time reaching the last note of Since I Don't Have You. And Jimmy used to tell me, don't worry about it. Jan couldn't always hit it. But I'm like, that's the only thing that I have to do. That was the prerequisite to get hired. You have to be able to hit the note. And I could most of the time, but and we would lower the key, and the key would be lowered again. Then it sounded blasé, so we put it in the original key. And but when you're younger, you can hit those notes. But when you get older, you're not gonna. But I had a lot of sinus issues. It was in the spring, could not hit the note. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? So my mother, who I told you, she sang opera.
Okay.
And this was the first show. She and my dad are sitting in the audience. And I went down at intermission and I said, "Hey, Ma, do you think you could help me and maybe sing the last note of Since I Don't Have You?" She says, "Well, I'll try. So I took her back, and I think we were closing the show. So we set up a mic in the wing for her. And I look over at her and I said, "Okay, I'm going to do the run up. And I'll go, and you hit the note." And I think it was a high B because we were doing it in E at the time.
Wow.
And she says, "Okay." So we get to the bottom. I did the run up and she sang the last note and I kept my mouth open until she stopped. And we did our bows. We went off stage and I said, "Can you stay for the second show?"
Yeah.
And she said, "Yeah, I can. Sure, I can." So she went back down to be with my dad. And he goes, "Where were you? You missed the whole thing." He was clueless.
No,
So if he was clueless, everybody else was too. But on that one show, my mother hit the last note.
How about that? That's
Is that funny?
Yeah, that's a great story. That's a great story.
Mhm.
Honestly, and you know what you had mentioned, and it's true. How many singers that have long careers that eventually they start lowering
Oh yeah,
the keys of their songs?
you have to.
It doesn't matter whether you're a guy or a girl. You start to lose that range
Right.
eventually. It's tough, and unless you're working out, 4 or 5 hours a day and working on that, otherwise you just can't. It's just normal that you're going to lose that. It's like an athlete that loses strength and loses some of the skills that they had when they were 20 and 30. They can't do when they're 50 or 60.
No.
It's just the way it is. I witnessed that a lot when we would play a lot of festivals, and different acts would come in, and you would hear these singers and these groups come in, and you were, me, I had perfect pitch, so I'm used to hearing these songs in certain keys, and then I'm hearing them much lower, and I'm like, oh boy, they lower that one.
You know what? I do too. And most people don't know what that really is. They just think, "Oh, you sing on pitch." No, but I understand what it is because I have it too. So I cannot play a piano that is slid down a half a step, because if I play a C, I expect to hear a C, and I can't adjust. So I'm not real good at transposing, but at sight I can, but
I was real good transposing like a step either way, so if I was clarinet or a trumpet, I could do it, and I would have to transpose it because I'm not hearing the pitches that they actually are.
That's just in it. You have to shut it out.
Horn, which is a fifth away.
Wow.
That was a challenge for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Struggled with that.
It is. I did too in school, and we had to do it. And the organ, the 3 staffs. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a blessing to have, but at the same time, there are times that you say, I wish I didn't have this perfect pitch right now.
Yeah. Well, I've never ever wished I didn't, because it's been a tool, but and that's why, and when you're singing or whatever, sight singing, nothing, just straight through. You can always take the odd part because no one else can hear it, when you're singing in the studio. So you can always do the odd part.
Sure. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that you had that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's a very that's a blessing to have. It's considered a sixth sense,
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. There was a tribe in the West Indies. Supposedly the whole tribe had perfect pitch.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and it's
Imagine like it would be like having the Commodores or something with them, or Take Six. Oh,
six. There you go. Yeah.
Oh man.
No, it's very, very interesting. I love that story though about your mom singing the last note. That is classic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have one more video that I want to show. Maybe before I do this, maybe you have anything else? Do you have any other good stories like that? That was a great one.
I do. I could tell you about the Pilgrim Madonna. In the Catholic church that I was playing in, I used to look at the bulletin, and it would say the Pilgrim Madonna this week will be in the home of such and such. And then they put the phone number. So, it's this, and I'm thinking, well, what is that? So I asked the church secretary, and she says, it's you take the Madonna statue and it goes in your home and you keep it for the week, and then it goes to the next person. I said, well, I want to do that. So I'm picturing Mary on a donkey, or the Pilgrim Madonna moving around. And in fact, I've got my flight into Egypt. Let me get it. This is a Hummel, and I just love it.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that sweet? And there's Joseph, and then a little angel with a lantern leading the way. It's the cutest thing. But anyway, I pictured like something like this, and Mary on the donkey making pilgrimages to people's house. Well, when it was my turn, she said, pull up your car and the janitor will put the statue in your trunk. And I'm like, what? The trunk? What do you mean, my trunk? So I came out. There was this great big box, over 3 feet maybe, great big box. And I'm like, what the heck is in it? I don't understand. Well, inside the box was another case, like a curio case with a glass thing on it, and this great big Madonna statue in it, like 2 or 3 feet high. I'm like, okay. So I took it home, and I said, well, okay, you know me, I get busy.
Sure.
And so I thought, well, I'm going to need somebody to help me take this out. Well, it didn't get out that day. Okay. So the next day, meanwhile, I'm thinking about her in the trunk. And I thought, well, okay, I'm driving to Pittsburgh. I'll say the rosary. Good. So I'm saying the rosary. And I'm praying and meditating, and I'm trying to drive. And so the next day, nobody was there. I couldn't get it out. So the second day, meanwhile, every single day, I'm driving all over the place for either gigs or practice or just everything. Maybe I went to school because that was my old car. That's right. So every day. And by the end of the week, the Madonna never made it out of the trunk, but she was all over the city of Pittsburgh. So she really was the Pilgrim Madonna, because she was all over the place in my trunk. And that's the truth. Yeah. And my mother howled. She says, my God, she said, your number is in there with it. I said, yeah. And she said, well, that's so that people can call you and they would come over and you would say the rosary together at your house. I said, I didn't know that. So funny. Poor Mary never made it out of the box or my trunk.
Or the trunk, right? Oh, that's funny.
She went around. She was the pilgrim.
That's a great story too. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to play this last video, and this video I think was the number one hit back in the day, and I wanted to share something with you too, because I've met a lot of people through my career, and I was very good friends. I'm very good friends with Pat the Caesar, from Wrangler Promoters. And Pat introduced me to a guy named Nick Sensi.
Sure.
You knew Nick? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I met Nick, and he'd come over to my house, I went over to his house in Whitehall and things. And Nick told me that he was the one he was a record promoter. Back in the day, they had record promoters. And he was telling me the story of, how they would get radio disc jockeys to play a record. They had a record. They felt this is going to be a hit. And they'd go into a radio station and they'd walk in the booth and they'd hand this disc jockey a record, say, I need you to play this, and I'm going to stay here until you play it. And he said, no, not one time. You got to play it over and over, And then he'd go out and he'd get food and beverages, whatever. He'd bring lunch back in for them and stay there, and he'd sit on the floor. He said, Nick told me, and this is the first song that he promoted for the Skyliners called Since I Don't Have You.
That's it. And
that was their first big hit. So I rest in peace. Nick passed away, but he was, I do have a picture of him somewhere sitting in my wine cellar with Pat and Ed Travisary and a few other people. But I never thought about having it available here today. But anyhow, he was a great guy, and I had really didn't know, that part of the business of how they promoted records back then. Now today's world is completely different.
It doesn't even apply.
World altogether. None of that stuff exists. And I have a very good friend named Tom Causey. I don't know if you ever heard of him or knew him.
I have.
But Tom was he was basically in the marketing end of the record industry. And he, again, being from Pittsburgh, originally from like the Homestead area, Mount Hall, Homestead, whatever. Tom, and he just came out with his first book about all the stories in the business end of music. It's a great book. And he tells stories about the way the record industry was back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, which was completely different than what's going on today, for sure. So it's pretty interesting.
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah. So let me play this video. Let me play this part here. So, and I think I got this also off of
plans and schemes, and I don't have hopes and dreams. I don't have anything since I don't have you.
No, you know what? When they made me do that, I hated them. It's like, oh, taking that and hiking up that octave. I said, why would they make me sing in it was out of character for me. I mean, it's out there. I don't know who has that. I hope nobody, but it's just, I don't want to say I was upset, but I don't think they always knew what was best or good, or it certainly was very uncomfortable. You can hear me trying to fight my way through it. And there was no tuning, no nothing. There was no help. And it was just, like, oh my God. Yeah. To me, that was, I mean, it's okay, but I cringed at the time, and I listen to it now and I'm cringing again. But
you have a beautiful voice, and you can't take that away from you. And the combination with you and Jimmy, it's wonderful. It's nice.
I mean, of all the things to do, I mean, they could have done an arrangement where they modulated or something, or made it more believable. They forced me into, I'm more of an alto, the alto, second soprano, and they're forcing me into this high thing that was very,
I think it's because that was the thing of that time, of that period of time, of those singers going up, and you had the guys that, the Frankie Vallis that sang all of the falsetto, all that, that was the norm, that was the thing. And that was the thing to try to achieve, to get that sound. So I think, they were just trying to do what was popular and what was gonna
could be, but they could see. I still, when I think, I see what they might have been trying to do, but none of those people, to me, they're on the business side. They're not musical.
Right.
And they think they know, and they don't. You're always at somebody's whim of who's paying the bill.
Sure.
And if that needed a producer.
Yeah.
There really wasn't.
Yeah. Well, it was wonderful. And Donna, it was wonderful to have you on the program.
Thank you.
Your time. I know you're so busy.
Oh,
do so many things. It's crazy.
Just running. Are we out of time?
No. If you have more you want to say, you want to talk.
No. It's just, I'll be working on American Cruise Lines, and that's like the other thing that I do, because everything that's happening now, I don't want to say is becoming irrelevant, but it's so specialized now that it's, you're going to do your shows at the Palace and maybe some things outdoor. We're working up at Schenectady, but the promoters are going away. They're just not, they're seeing half full theaters, and they can't put multi-act shows on. They can't get their money back. And with folks like Live Nation, I'm sorry, but they're making it harder for promoters to go in because it's too expensive to bring your show into a theater. So the Skyliners will be in Manahawkin, New Jersey on the 11th of April at the Stafford's Performing Arts Center. And then in Schenectady at the Proctors, May 3rd at, believe it or not, the old Beaver Falls High School. They've got a community concert series. We're going to do the 5th of May, Cinco de Mayo, and the 3rd, which is a Sunday, will be in Greensburg at the Palace.
Okay.
That's what the other Pittsburgh groups. I'm going to do Lincoln Park on the main stage. They just asked me to do it. Pure Gold's going to open, and I'm going to do a Dionne Warwick tribute.
Oh, nice.
All Dionne stuff, all Burt Bacharach. That's great music to me. That's my music.
Do you know your way to San Jose? For
I
sure?
do. You head west and make a left.
That's right.
You hit the water.
That's great. That is
But
good.
I'm
music.
trying right now
That's-
from a distance show.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to get the rights now, the licensing, because I want to film it.
Oh,
And I've had a terrible time finding money for that. And I thought, oh, I'll be able to do it. I went to TJ Lubinsky. I said, look, you have what I need and I have what you need. Let's collaborate. And he was too busy for me. So he goes, I said, well, he goes, you won't find the money. You won't find it. I said, yes, I will. I will. Well, that was how many years ago, and I haven't found the money. So I'm thinking, instead of an investor route, I decided that this project needs philanthropy because it has to be somebody that cares about veterans. So up until now, I've used the show to make money for life-changing service dogs for veterans. So I've decided to hook up with them and make it that every concert that I do, they get a donation from the concert.
okay.
And so I've gone to, I can't say because I'm still working on it, but I've gone to somebody, I'm going to give them a press kit and everything. And I'm going to ask someone of kind of famous or very famous to co-host with me or host and get back it. But they've got the facilities to do all of that because that's how they're connected. So I'm just hoping, because really the show's not about me. Anybody could be in the host position or sing the songs. But if you go on the website and you look at the reel, you'll see that it's a pairing of music and letters from each era, from all the different conflicts. And so it spans 250 years and it's perfect for right now. And I've tried to push this, but you need somebody to push it for you. And it's just, you can't find people.
Has that interest in it too. Yeah.
Right. Exactly right. So
Yeah.
that's it. And hopefully, because PBS said we can air it, we just can't produce it. Nobody has money. And for now, they really don't. So we'll have to see what happens. But that's my project. And that's what I am absolutely charging forward. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up until I do it. It's going to happen.
Okay.
But meanwhile, I got to keep the lights on. So I go out on American cruise lines on the rivers. And Mark and I have done it together. But this time I'm going out solo to do a Florida all the way around the state, up to. So that,
Okay.
and then I do the Great Lakes. Those are all great vacations to take. It's expensive, but it's definitely worth it.
Very nice. That sounds like fun too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I wish you a lot of success with From a Distance. I hope that all comes together for you, and continued success with your career singing, and just
Thank
keep
you.
doing it. Yeah.
For as long as I can, anyway. We'll just keep lowering the keys until we're in the basement.
Well, you got to do what you got to do, right?
I guess.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, Donna, it's been wonderful having you on, and I appreciate it.
Thank
So,
you.
Yeah, you take care, and if you see any of my friends on the set with you playing, you just tell them I said hello.
They will definitely be. They definitely will be.
All right, thank you. You have a great day.
Thanks. You too.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye. And there you go, another episode of Memories of a Musician with Donna Groom. Really beautiful voice, talented young lady with playing piano and singing, and just a great entertainer. Looking ahead to next week, April 8th, be sure to tune in to Memories of a Musician to meet my special guest, Dr. John R. Paston, Lieutenant Commander, the United States Navy, retired. John Paston retired in May 2017 as the Dean of the College of Performing Arts at Rowan University, Glassboro, New Jersey, where he led the departments of music, theater, dance, and art. In September 1998, following a distinguished 30-year career as a U.S. Navy bandmaster and musician. He accepted the position of director of bands at Rowan, where he conducted the wind ensemble and concert band, taught conducting and ensemble rehearsal methods, and coached in the areas of music arranging and jazz improvisation techniques. He is recognized nationally as a conductor of bands, clinician, and adjudicator. Paston also remains active as a composer, arranger, and commercial jazz woodwind performer. John Paston is the newly appointed musical director and arranger of the Riverview Jazz Ensemble and the Pittsburgh Doo-Wop Big Band, and he leads a very popular local Pittsburgh band, the Doo-Wop Doctors. The episode will be streamed live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Dr. John Paston on Memories of a Musician on Wednesday, April 8th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you very much for joining me, and you have a great evening.